Hope everyone's doing well today. This is part of our Etude series. This is number 8 out of the Gillis book, 70 Progressive Studies for Bass Trombone. As always, check out the description below. You're going to find, first off, a link to the book if you don't already have a copy. Second thing you're going to find is a free link, no strings attached, to the warm-up book, which is my warm-up routine to help you play better in every aspect of your playing. And lastly, you're going to find the timestamps to be able to work through the video here. We do break into 3 sections. Firstly, we're going to work kind of in a lesson style, touch on a few important items to look at. Secondly, we're going to count through the actual piece. And then we will end, thirdly, with our top to bottom performance of the piece. So be sure to check those out below, and let's get started. As always, if these videos are helping you out, make sure you give us a like, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and in the comment section below, be sure you can always leave questions that you might have about this video or ideas that would help you out in future videos as well. So let's get started. Make sure that your measures are numbered, and here we go. So we're going to start with measures number 1 and into measure number 2 as the first place we check out. Now, in Gillis number 7, the previous video in the series, we did work on the dotted 8/16 rhythm, which we do have again here, but that's not what we're going to really be looking at. For this specific one, we're focusing on moving consistently with both air, sound, and volume through the first couple measures as we go from descending and moving over an octave of distance throughout the notes. So we want to blow steadily through these, making sure we're using a ton of air, opening up and not starting pinched or getting too open and sagging around a little bit as we move through these first few notes. So let's try it out a little bit under tempo. Here we go. All right, one more time now. We're focusing on blowing through the range, and we're going to both descend and then come up a little bit toward the end. We need to make sure we're tonguing nice and clearly. One of the biggest issues you may run into if you're having trouble with clarity or consistency is that oftentimes we're not going to tongue our notes as cleanly, especially on notes that we find a little bit more comfortable and easy to play. So what that's typically going to mean is the lower notes in this line or just in the piece in general will tend to be a little bit lazy on the articulations. So let's, this time, as we work through this one more shot, let's really focus on tonguing nice and hard on each and every note. Here we go. Just measures number 1 and 2. Alrighty, now let's jump ahead now to measure number 4. Now the reason we're going over to measure number 4 and into 5 is because we're going to go in the opposite direction here. So here we're going on a descending line down to our low A flat, but then we're going to be jumping up an octave and then jumping back up to that high D flat. So what I want to hear in this section is making sure that we're not tightening up and closing as we make those jumps in an upward motion, and that we're still getting nice clarity and consistency that we've heard in the other measures up until this point. So let's try it out. Again, good clean articulations, no tightening up, no pivoting, no motion. It's all openness and all air. Let's try it out. Here we go. Measure number 4 into measure number 5. Alrighty, now, as we move ahead, let's jump now to measures number 15 and measure number 16. Now, this is going to be a little bit of an extended set of 16th notes. We did take a look at this in actual, again, back into measure exercise number 7 from the Gillis series, but over here we're focusing on something a little bit different. I want to make sure that we have really good articulation as we've talked about in the previous couple measures that we worked, and now apply it to our 16th notes. We can't let the 16th note get bogged down or let our tongue get kind of slip either toward the roof of our mouth or between our teeth. We need to make sure that we're having a really nice clean da articulation, nice bounciness between the notes, which means separation, not choppiness, and then again, consistency as we move through the range. So let's focus on those couple items. Let's take a look at them. Again, a little bit under tempo. Now, I can hear a little bit of chip on one of my notes because I kind of took my foot off the gas. I wasn't blowing all the way through. So let's take another shot at this. You may find that at times in a full series of 10 notes in a row, 16 notes in a row, 30 notes in a row, that 1 or 2 of them will kind of skip on you, ghost on you, however you want to describe it. When that happens, it's usually going to be because you're not articulating in a clear manner or because you're pulling back your air or running out of air. So don't let those things slip by you. Catch them, address them, and make sure that you're fixing the problem that's actually causing them, and that way you don't have to do it again in the future. So let's try it one more time. Alrighty, now let's jump back up to the top. Let's work on our counting for this. Obviously, again, the first 3 things we look at is our key signature, our clef, and our time signature for everyone. anytime you're sight reading or preparing a piece. So we are jumping ahead through our clef and our key signature. We are going to be in 2/4. So again, 2 beats in the measure. The quarter note will get the beat. We, as always, will subdivide our counting. So on the first dotted 8th 16th note rhythm, we're going to count 1 E and a 2, despite the fact that the dotted 8th is going to absorb those 3 16ths. So let's try it out. Nice and confident. As always, try to sing the actual notes if you can, or just simply say the rhythms out loud on a single pitch if you're less comfortable. Let's get ready to flex our golden pipes. Here we go. I'll count us off. 1 and 2 and ready and count. 1, a 2, and 1, and a 2, and 1 E and a 2, and 1 E and a 2, and 1 E and a 2, and 1 and a 2, and 1 E and a 2, E and a 1 and a 2, and 1 E and a 2, and 1 and 2, and 1 E and a 2, and 1 E and a 2. All right, now what you noticed is the first measure I actually counted without the subdivision, and then on the next time that dotted 8th rhythm, 16th rhythm showed up, I did subdivide. And what you can hear is it's just a little bit more awkward, a little less comfortable without that subdivision. So whether I actually needed to recognize the rhythm or not, the importance is that whether it become mental later on when I'm performing this, I need to be able to hear that subdivision so that I can be as precise and as clear as possible. So let's now jump to our last part of the video. Let's perform. Let's get this ready to go. So we're going to be playing top to bottom. As always, no regrets, no mistakes, no holding grudges on anything that happens. Keep going no matter what. I want you to, again, pick 1 or 2 goals you might have. So for this video, my 2 personal goals are going to be really nice articulation on every single note. And my second thing that I want to focus on is going to be blowing through the range, whether I'm going up or down, especially over these over octave extensions, to make sure I'm as consistent as possible. Let's start from the top, go to the very end, and also keep in mind that we are listening for any of those little details that we might want to improve on for the next time. Here we go. Let's start from the top. Performance mindset. Sound your best. If you don't sound good, no one wants to hear you. That's the most important no matter what. Here we go. Alrighty, I hope you guys gained some value from this. I hope you are playing absolutely fantastic on everything you're working on. Keep up the hard work. Think about those couple things that you were thinking about and considering. How did that go for you? Think about the couple things that you might want to improve for the next rep, and then get right back to work. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be sure again to throw us a like, comment if you have questions, subscribe if you haven't done so. Check us out on other social media platforms, and we will see you for Gillis number 9.